what's up everyone? Welcome to Fantasy Premier League with FPL Wizard. I hope you're all doing fine. I hope you all had a great couple of game weeks, guys. Hey Barry, hey Smelly Web, Surf Rose, Cinema Crazy. First of all, would like to start the stream by thanking Barry for becoming a member of the channel. So thanks a lot, my friend, and welcome to the member of FPL Wizard channel. Do send me a DM, Barry. I'll add you to the group of members that we have over on Twitter. I think that you'll enjoy the group. It's called the FPL Council. Hey Dexter, I hope you're doing fine, my friend. So as you can see, guys, I still haven't made my transfers, but these are the proposed transfers. I just wanted to show you right at the start because I think there's just two possibilities. Basically, when I was kind of streaming at the deadline, you would all know I had two possibilities. As to kind of whether to go for Robertson or to go for Luis Diaz, and the second possibility was whether to go for somebody like Neco Williams and keep money in the bank, or to go with Kyle Walker. I think right now, in hindsight, when we look at all the stuff that is going on, I think both those moves have not paid off, kind of, because I think City defense is looking really good. City team is looking really good. I think doubling up on their defense in hindsight would have been a good thing. Getting Luis Diaz over Robertson, I'm not so sure if we have enough data to say that we should have gone for Luis Diaz over Robertson. But Luis Diaz just looks so dangerous. I mean, in the first game, he hit the post twice. He scored a goal, really good goal as well against Palace. So that, in hindsight, looks like a decision that could have gone differently. But I've got nothing to complain. Started the season pretty well. My rank is around 700k at the moment, and I'm pretty happy with that. So going forward, I have two free transfers. I've got 1.5 million in the bank, and I'm going to make my two transfers here live on the stream. As I still had I was just waiting maybe to hear news about Perisic, whether Perisic starts today or not. That could sway my transfers a little bit. So I didn't pull the trigger. That has cost me, by the way, guys. Robertson, Leon Bailey, and Neto all have fallen in price. So it's not been a good week for me in terms of the price falls and price rises. But we'll come to. Sometimes these things have to be done. Some people like to make early transfers. I personally don't. So it's just up to you how you kind of play the game and how you kind of interact with the game. I try to keep my transfers for as long as possible. That's always been my style. Dexter says, hi Wizard, I really need help. We are in the same situation. Yeah, don't worry, my friend. I'm gonna try to work it out, and I'll let you know whatever I think is the best situation. But I have a couple of transfers in mind. I'll show you in the next 5 or 10 minutes what combinations I have, and then you can see if you like any of them. Michael says, "Morning, Wiz. Who's the best captain? Haaland, Salah, or Jesus?" Good morning, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Honestly, Michael, I think. If Darwin Núñez was fit, if he was starting as a striker, I would have possibly gone for Gabriel Jesus for captain. But now that Darwin is suspended, I think Liverpool don't have, Liverpool maybe gonna play with Firmino, or maybe they're gonna play with Luis Diaz, and that, I think, both ways, I think that affects Salah positively. And also the bad form of Manchester United kind of. Currently, I'm leaning towards Salah, considering all the parameters, considering Gabriel Jesus played really well against Leicester, and it's just I feel that against Manchester United, Liverpool are going to be motivated. Liverpool have started the season really, with 2 draws. Nobody expected them to do that, conceding in both the games. That is the reason Robertson transfer hasn't worked out, or the Robertson pick hasn't worked out in hindsight. But I think you have to choose between Salah and Gabriel Jesus. If you want to go with Haaland, be my guest. But against I mean, in the last game week against Bournemouth, I mean, wasn't his performance wasn't too encouraging. Although Foden didn't pass to him on a couple of occasions, but honestly, I mean, he got the assist. He showed pretty good strength, but there was nothing to write home about the performance of Haaland last week. So I tend to kind of I tend to think that Salah or Gabriel Jesus can be the better option. Of course, if you have the Tottenham players, then you can think about captaining them as well. Cinema says I currently have Ramsdale, Trent, James, Walker, Diaz. That's interesting. You've got Walker and Diaz. You don't have Cancelo. Very interesting. Neco Williams, Saka, Salah, Mount, Jesus, Kane. Is it worth to take? No, I don't think so. You need to make a transfer. I think your team looks good. I mean, the only weak link here is the Neco Williams, but you cannot have 11 good players. It just doesn't work out like that. So I think it looks pretty good, Cinema, to me. Michael says, what's a member? Michael, it's just that when you click on the join button right next to subscribe, it gives you the option to kind of become a member of the channel for a small fee, which is like a monthly kind of a subscription kind of a thing. So it's just like for the price of a coffee per month that you can become a member of the channel, and you can... We have a special group on Twitter for our members as well, and the channel regulars. We regularly chat there, so you get more access to information rather than just the deadline streams. That's just one of the perks of becoming a member. Otherwise, it's just for supporting the channel, because that's all there is to it, Michael. Dexter says, Sanchez, Robo. Yeah, I think we have this similar kind of a team, but that's good thing is you have Sanchez. I've got Ramsdale, 5.5 million more expensive. Sanchez, Robo, Trent, Perisic, Neco, Cancelo, Salah, Mount, Martinelli, Bailey, Andreas. We don't have the same problem, Dexter. We have different problems, but I think your problem is pretty simple to. You can, I think, simply if you want, you can move Robertson to Ruben Diaz, or an Arsenal defender, maybe Gabriel, or even, I think Zinchenko could work. You can move Robertson to Zinchenko, and then you can move Mount to Luis Diaz. I think that could work. Or you could just take out Robertson for a cheap defender like Lewis Dunk, and then you can move on Bailey for Luis Diaz if you want. Otherwise, that team looks good to me. No problems there. So let me take you to my transfers page, guys, and just show you what I've been thinking. And so basically, these are the transfers I've been thinking. Unfortunately, what happened, guys? Yesterday, my transfer plan was absolutely sorted, no issues, nothing. For example, what was my initial plan? I had thought like I'd just take Robertson, and if I get any early news about Perisic, I'll put Perisic in. And I'll have Luis Diaz and Perisic, and I'll have a pretty good team the way I want it to be, right? Everything was fine, but all of a sudden, like Robertson drops in price yesterday. It was it was not good. So that's the reason I'm kind of stuck with. Also, we don't have any early information about whether Perisic starts or not. He hasn't started the first two games. He came on against Chelsea for 11 minutes, got an assist from the corner, came on against Southampton for 24 minutes. It looks very dangerous when he plays, but the problem is he's just not sure whether he starts or when he starts. But when he does start playing, I think he's going to be a good option. So now when I don't have the option to go for Perisic, I've been considering my alternatives. My alternatives are like, I've thought about Cucurella. I like Chelsea's fixtures except game week 8. I like all these fixtures except Liverpool at home. I like Leeds, Leicester, Southampton, West Ham, Fulham. Very good fixtures. Doubling up on Chelsea defense. Chelsea defense looked pretty good against Spurs as well. Although that the last corner that they conceded to wasn't good. But Cucurella got an assist. He was taking corners from the left hand side as well, and looked pretty attacking. Was going into the box as well during the attacks. So this could be one option, Cucurella. But the thing is, if I go for Cucurella, this gives me the option to go from Neto to Pascal Gross, which I really want to do later. maybe next week. The problem is Pascal Gross is 5.7, and like, I'm not sure if he's gonna be 5.7 by the time I want to make this transfer. That is the entire dilemma in my head. So this is the reason I initially I had Dunk here, because I feel Brighton's fixtures, because I'm going to use my wildcard after game week 8, so I'm not considering the other fixtures. I'm just considering the first 8 game weeks still here. West Ham away is like not the easiest fixture, but then you see Leeds, Fulham, Leicester, Bournemouth, Palace, and the way Brighton have started the season, I mean, they should not have conceded to United. They would have had 2 clean sheets, but creativity, I mean, the threat, goal threat from Dunk in the first 2 games has been negligible. So we gonna, I'm gonna think about it a little bit more, but at least you know what I've been planning or what I've been thinking about. No news about Perisic. No, if I have news on Perisic, then my transfers might have been different, but I don't think we're gonna get any early news. But there's a guy, Paul O'Keefe, on Twitter. He actually, recommends or gives recommendations on the lineups for Tottenham, and he is pretty accurate, and he has links in the club, and he has said that Perisic might start. So take that with a pinch of salt, but that's what I have. Sorry guys, I just need to move on. Too many comments. Viz got Rashford last week in my team. Looking at Manchester United form, do you suggest keeping him? Or see, Sarfroz, if you got him last week, I mean, if you can keep him, but it hasn't been looking good for United. Maybe they've signed Casemiro. Maybe they're gonna sign Anthony. I'm not even sure where Rashford's gonna play once they sign all these players, because Martial is back fit also. So if you want, you can keep him, but personally, I mean, if I had started the season with Rashford, I would possibly have moved him out. But since you brought him in just last week, I think if you want, you can keep him. It's a difficult one, bro. Shivam says, I'm removing the ever-divine duo of Lissandro plus Sancho, gave me a total of -1+1 last week and freeing up 11.7. Shivam, what are your options? I'd say you could go for... you could very well go for somebody like Pascal Gross and Lewis Dunk. I mean, long term until game week 8, not just for 1 game week, but you could at least go for 1 Brighton player. Favorite 5.5 million defender already on Kukurea. Honestly, I don't like many defenders in this price range. I think Gabriel is pretty good. Zinchenko is good as well. I mean, the only cheap defenders I like in the game currently are from Arsenal. Ward or Sanchez. I think you can think of going with Ward, to be honest with you. He has the better fixture, although the Leicester defense hasn't looked good at all. But maybe with Fofana's situation now clear, hopefully they're gonna settle. But you can think about going with Ward. This is a flip of a coin, honestly. I sold Perisic and Neto for Saliba and De Silva. Honestly, I think Perisic is too early. That is exactly why I'm not... George, I have the option to go for Perisic. I kept the money in the bank exactly for this move, This is my current team, So I can simply go from Nico Williams to Perisic. I kept the money in the bank for this move. I have this option. The problem is the double Liverpool defense is costing a lot, just not looking that good at the moment. They conceded 2 goals to Fulham. They conceded on the counter-attack to Palace. So it's just, they barely managed to score a goal down to 10 men. Although Robertson was playing well, if you look here, his threat was 22 in the game against Palace. So he was playing well. But, the thing is, Luis Diaz's ownership is slowly increasing, and I think Luis Diaz has looked very good. In the first game he hit the post twice and he scored a really, really good goal. Would be full of confidence. The second reason to go for Luis Diaz might also be that with Nunes absent, Luis Diaz might play in the closer to goal. That's very interesting as well. Barry says, made my transfers the moment the game week ended. I got really tired of Rashford and Bailey, so got Martinelli and Pascal Gross. I like both those transfers, Barry. Really like them, bro. Hey Buckshot, I hope you're doing well. I hope you have a great Saturday as well. Razat says, have you sold Robertson? Razat, I haven't made my transfers, bro. Hey Rohit, I hope you're doing well. Zara says, hey Wiz, thoughts on Trippier to Kukurea and Robertson to Walker? Yeah, another option I have as well, I forgot to mention, is I can go for a Manchester City defender, which I really want to. The problem is I'm not sure which of those 5 million defenders is going to be nailed. Because they signed this Gomez guy as a left back, and now Cancelo is playing at left back and Walker is playing at right back. What happens if this Gomez guy starts? Does Cancelo move to right back, and does Pep Guardiola put Walker out of the team? Whether to go for Walker, whether to go for Nathan Ake? That is also a consideration, which is why currently didn't go for Walker. But if you kind of trust that Walker is going to play, then I think those moves make sense. Otherwise, simply Trippier to Kukurea could work as well. Because I don't see you needing the money for the transfers. So it's not that you have to make the Robertson to Walker move unless you want to fund somebody like Luis Diaz. I don't think that this transfer definitely is required in your team. We have a new member, Michael. Thank you so much, Michael, for becoming a member. Michael has been regular on the channel for a long time, and now he just became a member. So thank you so much, Michael, for supporting FPL Visit. I just really appreciate it, my friend. So honestly, Zara, I think one transfer should be fine, unless you really want to move on Robertson, or you need the money. I don't think that transfer needs to be done. Which goalkeeper, Ward or Ramsdale? Ramsdale. I would start Ramsdale, definitely, out of those two. Rohit says best low budget midfielder. I think Andreas Pereira, if you don't already own him. The second one is Josh De Silva, but there's not many, honestly. Not many. Aman says any Robertson replacements with, yeah, I'm gonna do the same, my friend. I'm gonna do the same. So if you stay on the stream, you'll possibly find out exactly what transfer I make. I really want to double up on the City defense, even more than I want to double up on the Chelsea defense. But the thing is, City defenders are the problem. That's the entire issue. I'm not sure if Walker plays all the games. If I was sure that Walker's gonna play all the games, I would possibly do it. I would just bring Walker in and be done with it. But Nathan Ake and Walker are the two defenders that I can presently own, or afford in this situation. Jiret says, bring back the trumpet music. Nah, I hope not. I figured out my transfers. I'm going to do them early, my friend. No trumpets today, no drama. George says, I think Kulusevski is better than Diaz for FPL. Much higher points per minute last season. Yeah, Kulusevski is good. I agree with you. If you want, you can go with Kulusevski as well. The thing is, I don't know. I want 3 Liverpool players in my team. Just for the fact that I just can't trust the Liverpool players more. Their fixtures are good. Bournemouth, Newcastle, Wolves, Everton. No problem with the fixtures either. Tottenham have got decent fixtures as well. But if you ask me which one I prefer out of the two, I prefer Diaz. Lee says bring in Foden. Lee, I've been very surprised by what's going on with Foden. If you look at the minutes of Foden, it's pretty strange. He's been taken off a couple of times. Let me show you here. See here. 87, 45. He scored a goal and an assist, but I think Pep Guardiola was angry with him for not passing to Haaland when he was in the spot. The goal he scored was more of a KDB special. KDB gave an assist. It was lucky. It came through the defender's legs, and then he hit it straight at the keeper, but it went in. So I'm not saying that Foden is a bad option, but I'm not so enthused, or I don't really think that he's essential or close to essential at the moment, Phil Foden. I think I think Haaland, Kevin De Bruyne, Cancelo, and Ederson are the best picks in each position from City for me. Lucy says, hi, what do you think of if Gondisnat says... Lucy, I'm sorry, I have no idea what you mean, my friend. Absolutely no idea. But if you can be more elaborate, I can definitely answer that. Favorite 5.5 defender, already have Kukurea. Again, I say Gabriel is good, from Arsenal. I really like him. I think he's a good option. Zinchenko from Arsenal is good as well. Kyle Walker from Manchester City, although if you can take a couple of rotations during the season, then I think Kyle Walker can be an option as well. Other than that, I don't see many. Then you can just downgrade to somebody like Lewis Dunk. FPL Sam, I hope you're fine, my friend. Sylvester says Captain Kane or KDB or Jesus. I would captain Kane, I'd say, out of these. Newcastle away for KDB. Burn. I mean, you can captain Jesus as well if you want to. I'm not sure about captaining Jesus. I mean, I'm happy owning him. Happy owning him. Yeah. But Sylvester, you've got all these three options. I think that's going to be good for you anyway, my friend. You don't need to worry. Your team looks really good. Michael says, thanks, Melly Web. Looking forward to some top class FPL chat. Definitely, Michael. I'm going to add you. And we've got 2 new members today, Barry and Michael. I'm going to add you to the chat group on Twitter, my friend. George says, Lucy is a troll. Don't read the comment out loud. I get it, my friend. Unfortunately, yeah. Just I'm gonna put Lucy on timeout. Lucy, if you've got some FPL related queries, be my guest. Otherwise, please stop sending these messages. Sylvester says, okay, thanks. So yeah, this is the dilemma, guys. See, most of the teams, the template is forming already. The template was forming before the season started, right? There were 2 templates. One was with Robertson, one was with Luis Diaz. Dexter says, I've lost 0.4 team value. Should I give up? Damn. See, Dexter, I've lost 0.1 on Bailey, I've lost 0.1 on NATO, I've lost 0.1 on Robertson as well. It doesn't matter. Sometimes either you make early transfers or take the risk, or you wait for more information during the press conferences. It is totally your choice. I decided to wait. It is my decision, and I have to live up to it or stick with my decision, my friend. Buckshot, currently my captaincy is on Salah, my friend, and I'm not sure if that is going to change. Although, I was very tempted to put it on Gabriel Jesus. The problem is with Darwin Núñez now not playing, I think Salah is going to be having more onus to score the goals, and I think Salah is a good captaincy option as well as Gabriel Jesus. But currently I've put it on Salah, thinking at the back of my mind. But yeah, as of now there's no change of put it on Salah. Because I think Liverpool need to win a game, and also without Darwin Núñez present, I think Salah is going to be more effective. Perisic, Mount, Bailey, and Robo. I'm down bad. Nah, that's fine. It's don't worry about it, my friend. It's just the start of the season. 0.4 should not matter that much. It does at the start of the season. The team value does matter. I agree with you, but don't be disappointed. Just fix the problems you have, my friend. Hey FPL Jug, I hope you're doing fine, bro. I hope you started the season well. So Luis Diaz is obviously coming into my team. Not going to think about Foden or Kulusevski. For me, it is a black and white decision. I'm going to get Luis Diaz. I want Luis Diaz for all these fixtures, guys. Simple as that. Bournemouth home, Newcastle home, Wolves home, Everton away. I want Luis Diaz for these fixtures. I mean, I could stick with Robertson. That is also a possibility, but I want to, I had this option at the start of game week 1 as well. I went with Robertson. Now I think, after watching a couple of games, I think Robertson is still a great option. I'm not saying he's not a good option, but personally I feel Luis Diaz, has had much more impact. Sandesh says, is it worth going for Mahrez to Kulusevski for a -4 hit? Sandesh, I don't think that is a bad move. The problem is -4. Otherwise, the move seems to be good because Mahrez, I'm not sure if he's going to start. What I see is, I think Foden is going to start most of the games. Mahrez and Grealish are going to rotate a bit. And still they have Alvarez who comes on as a sub. So in my opinion, I think Mahrez, you can keep him for the Newcastle game. I'm not sure if he starts or not. But if I was you, I would be tempted in 1 or 2 game weeks or in this game week to move on Mahrez because it's not nailed on. Neko or Rico Henry? Neko Williams or Rico Henry? I think Rico Henry. Neko plays against Everton away. Rico Henry plays against Fulham away. I mean, Rico Henry is more attacking. Neko's taking some set pieces. I think it's a very difficult one, my friend. Honestly, I never even think about these kind of questions, but this is so tough. I'd say you can try and go with Rico Henry, my friend. I hope Nato starts. I think Nato should start. I don't see any reason. He missed an open goal, by the way. I was so pained watching that. I did Robo to Kukurea and Rashford to Diaz. That sounds good to me, Humayun. That is one transfer that I have in my mind as well. Not sure if I'm gonna go over. The thing is, guys, let me just show you. I want to go with Kukurea as well. I mean, I like Kukurea as an option. I like a Manchester City option more than Kukurea, but I'm not sure about. So this is what I can do. And the fixtures look good for Chelsea. No problems here. Leicester, Southampton, West Ham, Fulham. All good. Game week 8, Liverpool, fair enough. Might have to, I'm going to wildcard after this game week anyway. So, not a problem there. But, just want a Manchester City defender more than I want Kukurea. Just thinking at the back of my mind, should I go for Walker or should I not? Hi, Wiz, Warder, Raya. Raya plays against Fulham, right? Brentford at home. I'd say Fulham. Yeah, I'd say you can go with Ward. I think you can go. It's a touch and go. I don't think there's going to be much difference between their points, my friend. Razat says, what's your thought about the transfer of Robertson and Nato to bring in Kukurea and Diaz? I think that's fair enough, my friend. I mean, yeah, not a bad transfer at all. Looks good. The thing with Tuchel's comments about Kukurea is he said if we play a back 4, then Chilwell and Kukurea are competing for the same spot. If we play a back 5, then Kukurea can also play at left centre back, and Chilwell can play at wing back. But I think for these next couple of game weeks, I think Kukurea is going to start at wing back because I think Chilwell played in the under 21s as well. He's more of a sub at the moment as compared to Kukurea. Chilwell is more of a sub for the next couple of game weeks. Let's see how this develops, by the way. Neko impressed me on set pieces, had about 5 shots basically. That is the reason I was confused, CL. That this was such a difficult question. There was no right answer to this because why I was leaning towards Neko a little bit, but I said Rico Henry in the end because he's more attacking. He has more end product. Neko just got 7 points in the end because Neko plays against Everton, and Everton currently at attacking wise they are absolutely basically down. They have no strikers. Calvert-Lewin is injured. I think he injured his knee ligaments or something. So the only striker they have in the ranks is Salomon Rondon. So that's the reason you can think about going with Neko. Fulham, on the other hand, they've got Mitrovic. They've got a really good attacking unit, and that is the reason that you can think about going with Neko Williams as well. But Rico Henry has more end product. That is the difference. First bench, Andreas or De Silva? Andreas, my friend. I think Fulham at home, Andreas definitely. Smash that like button, say Smelly Wab. Thank you so much, my friend. So This is the only kind of dilemma that I have right now, is which defender to bring in. I hope the trumpets are not required, guys. I hope this is gonna get sorted pretty quickly. And, I'm gonna make my transfers, and I'm gonna leave the team here for you guys to see, so that you don't get confused. I mean, one of the things which I'm feeling kind of a little bit not happy about is Ramsdale. I mean, I would have loved to own an Arsenal defender, and maybe a Brighton keeper at this moment in time. I think that would be ideal, But who knows what's gonna happen here? The thing with I can even afford a more expensive defender if I transfer out NATO. But the thing is, NATO is somebody who I can keep for these 3 game weeks, Still good fixtures: Newcastle, Southampton, Bournemouth. So he's still better than Bailey. At least he's starting games, he's getting chances. All right, he missed an open goal, but there's still a shout for him to be in the team. For Lee says, Viz, are you captaining Salah? Yes, Lee, that's the plan, my friend. Aaron says, Viz, can you suggest an actual differential for this game week? Stuck on the same points with one of the boys in the mini league. Need to get above him for satisfaction. Differential. This is gonna be a tough one, my friend. If you wanna, I think Mitrovic can be a good option. Ivan Toney is good. Pascal Gross is good as well. Pro says bring Zinchenko. I can't. I can't. Zinchenko, I've already got 3 Arsenal players. I wish I could have had 4. Think I'm going to captain Haaland. My bold prediction is that Bournemouth will do well against Arsenal. I hope not. I'm an Arsenal fan, by the way. I hope they don't do well against Arsenal. But to be honest with you, the way Arsenal played against Leicester, some of those moves, some of those touches were mind-boggling. It was like the Arsenal of old. The goals by Gabriel Jesus, he could easily have had a hat-trick. Gabriel Jesus against Leicester. Granted that Leicester is a bad defensive team at the moment, but Arsenal's play was scintillating. And the goals which Arsenal conceded, they were both avoidable. One went through Ramsdale's legs, which was Maddison's. The other one, I can't remember who scored it. But they were both avoidable. Very avoidable. Andreas or NATO? Currently, I think I'm going to start Andreas Pereira over NATO in my team. That's the current thinking. I'll fix it for you very soon. But that's the thinking. I want to start Andreas Pereira. Let's go over to Fantasy Football Fix and compare the 2 players. Let me show you. Wolves. First Fulham. And the Fulham player which we want is Andreas, right? And then Wolves, and from Wolves we want player 2 to be Neto. There you go. So as you can see here, the expected goals pretty much non-existent. How is NATO's XG just 0.1? That chance for open goal, was it a low XG chance? Crazy, right? So, I mean, NATO's obviously dominating in all the stats. If you look at this, attempted assists, the only stat in which Andres Pereira is dominating. But I think the way Fulham played at home against Liverpool, sometimes, you just don't go on the stats. I think NATO plays against Tottenham, which is a very difficult team to play against, especially under Conte. Andreas plays against Brentford at home. I think if Fulham can be so motivated as to draw against Liverpool at home, I think they're going to do well against Brentford as well. So I'm probably going to go with Andreas, although there's not much to choose. I might think about going with a different like NATO or Andreas, but personally I want to go with Andreas. I want to go with the home player who plays at home. By the way, somebody was asking about a differential, guys. I think Zaha can be a very interesting differential. I think Zaha, you can think about Zaha as well, you know. Just give me a second here. So this is Robertson to Cucurella and Bailey to Luis Diaz. This looks good to me. I mean, I like the fixtures here, you know. I really like the fixtures here until game week 7. The only problem will be game week 8, but that we can cross that bridge when we come to it. This gives my team a balance. This gives me 0.3 million in the bank, with which I can get Pascal Gross in place of NATO. Oops, Pascal Gross. I think this makes a lot of sense to me. Because the thing is, I want Pascal Gross. I want him. I think that Brighton have the best fixtures of all the teams until game week 8, and I don't want Pascal Gross this game week against West Ham United away, although the West Ham players are going to be tired because they had a midweek Europa Conference game. But, you know, I don't want to take a hit to bring in Pascal Gross. That's the issue. So, these transfers personally look good to me. Let's answer some questions. Buendia, super differential. FPL Jack says, I agree, Salah as a captain this week has its own merit, but current form, don't you think Jesus can be a better choice? See, Jugs, I agree with you, bro. I think Jesus was in really good form. I just want to see him score 1 goal away from home before I can feel comfortable captaining him. That's the conservative manager in me speaking. But when he played against Crystal Palace, he was lively for the first 15 minutes against Palace, but after that he faded a bit. You know. So playing at home in front of the Emirates crowd and playing away at Bournemouth at the Vitality, it can be a different experience. I just want Jesus to get an away goal to kind of show me, you know, show me more with his away form. But if you want to captain Jesus, 100% he's a good option. I'm not saying not a good option. Ashish says, "What I think Bailey will start." I have no idea, my friend. I can't stick with him. I've had enough. It was a 5 million punt, didn't work out. Looked good in pre-season against Manchester United and the other games as well. I watched 3 goals, 2 assists in pre-season, but pre-season is pre-season, has nothing to do with the real season. So you just have to move him on. Dexter says, I think I will stick with Perisic. Who to replace Bailey with? Going to do 1 sub. Yeah, stick with Perisic. If I was you, I would not transfer out Perisic. Felix says, my gut tells me to Haaland captain. If your gut tells you to go with Haaland, then you have to do it, my friend. Bournemouth will be the first team versus Arsenal for a point, so they won't be so open. Could be a tough test. Bournemouth, they've won a game, right? They beat Aston Villa in the first game. So they were playing really, really good against Aston Villa as well, attacking. If they go for a point against Arsenal, they'll get exposed. I think Arsenal have got a decent pressing style now, and I think Arsenal can expose them. Again, being an optimistic Arsenal fan after a very long time. Aaron says, Wiz, do you think Liverpool versus United game may be affected by the protests? That is a fact. But if anything happens, I mean, we've got our vice captains, right? We've got our vice captain on Jesus anyway. In case the game gets called off or anything, I think the United board are trying to settle the fans by getting Casemiro and Anthony and all these players. Sanjay says, I've got Robo, Perisic, NATO. Do I do A, Robo and NATO to Cucurella and Diaz for a -4 or Perisic to Cucurella? I like the option A, but don't like the -4. Sanjay says, NATO and Perisic to Gross and Cucurella for a -4. No. Why do you want to transfer out Perisic? He's going to start soon, my friend. You know, Tottenham have got good fixtures. It's gonna start soon. Why do you want to transfer out? Just go NATO to Gross. Joe says, what should I do? Rodrigo and Gross or Koulibaly and Mbumo? Rodrigo and Gross seems better to me. But I think Rodrigo and Gross. Even if Rodrigo has a very difficult fixture this game week. Mate, what transfers you made? I haven't made my transfers yet, Jackson. I'm gonna make them now. Captain Mountain. You could Captain Mount if you wanted to, Sukraj. I wouldn't. Remember what happened last season? Mount against Leeds and Salah against Manchester United. Havertz against Leeds and Salah against Manchester United. You remember what happened? Salah got 21 points. Havertz got 3. Michael says, with Neco Williams or Matty Cash, who to start? I just need to kind of Aston Villa Palace. Honestly, I think you could start with Neco Williams, my friend. The thing is, I think Matty Cash has a very tough game. Crystal Palace, I think, is going to score against Aston Villa. No chance at Selhurst Park they don't score. Zaha's looking in really good form. And also, anybody wants to go for a differential can think about Zaha as well. Really, really good differential option. I wish I had the money. Thoughts on Gundogan? I think I like Haaland as a striker, KDB as a midfielder, Cancelo as a defender, and Ederson as their keeper. The 4 players that I like from City. Is this your final lineup? No, Salam. I haven't confirmed my transfers yet. I'm going to confirm them in the next 2 minutes. Do you think Trippier to Cucurella is a good idea? Bjorn, if you want to do it, you can. Honestly, I think keeping Trippier in your team is a good idea in itself. I mean, Trippier has done nothing to warrant kind of going out of the team, to be honest with you. He has had a great first 2 game weeks. I mean, gave you a clean sheet last week, first game week as well. So there's no reason to transfer Trippier. Only just for the fact that he has a match against Manchester City this game week, you can actually bench him. Bad memories of that game week, absolutely. I have good memories. I had Salah captain. Abhishek says, can you show your starting 11? I will do, Abhishek. Just give me a second here. I'm going to show you, with 10 minutes to go to the deadline, I'm going to confirm my transfers. Jackson says, what's your thoughts on doubling City defense? Jackson, I've been thinking about it. The problem is I just don't trust Walker enough. If you trust Walker enough to start all the games, I think you should definitely go with Walker. The reason I currently put Cucurella in my team is because I don't trust... I mean, I'm not being able to trust Walker to start all the games, Especially, why did they sign this left back? Where will that left back play? And if that left back plays, then, if you can see in the Manchester City team, Walker's minutes have been going down. You see here, 27, 27, 23, 19, 17. His minutes have been going down. His attacking returns have been going down, or, and were never that prominent anyway. But, that's the reason I'm a little bit concerned about getting Walker. I think Ake could be more safe because Laporte is out injured long term. The only option they have is John Stones. So if I had to select, I think Ake could be more safe for the short term until game week 8. Achitan says Callum Wilson to Mbumo and Bailey to Martinelli, a good move. Or Rashford to Martinelli alone. I think Rashford to Martinelli. I have Bailey, Neto, and Rashford in 2 free transfers. Then you should transfer out Rashford and Bailey. Wilson, I don't understand. Callum Wilson. You should transfer out Rashford and Bailey. I think that makes more sense for you, for your team, I think, my friend. Siddhant says, I swapped Neto with Bailey and Perisic with Walker. What? Neto with Bailey? What do you mean? You transferred out Neto and you got Bailey? Siddhant, I actually can't understand that comment. If you can be more elaborate, I'll be happy to answer you, bro. Alright, guys, so Siddhant says lineup: Ramsdale, Trent, James, Walker, Bailey, Salah, Diaz. You got Bailey you actually transferred in Bailey. People are actually transferring him out. Martinelli, Jesus, Haaland. That looks good to me. I mean, the problem is I'm not sure with Bailey is going to start most games or not. Rodrigo, Gundogan, or Zaha? Zaha out of all those for me. Rodrigo looks good, but I think Zaha's more... although, to be honest with you, if you read Jesse Marsh's comments on Rodrigo, very encouraging. He's on penalties. He's the main man. He's the, talisman. He just said so many good things about Rodrigo. The thing is, maybe short term, he plays against Chelsea this week and maybe you don't want to get him this week, but I think Rodrigo and Zaha are really close. Keep or sell Emi Martinez. I think you should sell. If you can get Ederson, really good. If you can't, then I think Ramsdale or Sanchez. 5.5 Ederson, 5 Ramsdale, 4.5 Sanchez, 4 Ward. Very simple. Alright guys, I think I need to make my transfer. I think we have just over 10 minutes left. Deathstroke says Uh, do you do you think it is worth making Kane the captain this week? I think there is no problems with making Kane the captain this week. Definitely not, my friend. Um, I think Kane is the third best captain option. You know, even third. Yeah, joint third, I think. KDB, Haaland, Kane, all these, in my opinion, third. I think Gabriel Jesus, maybe he's not a premium player in the game. Maybe that is the reason it feels a little bit hard to give him the armband. Technically speaking, we should, kind of trust Gabriel Jesus more after his 19-point haul. But I am a kind of a manager. Everybody has a different appetite for taking risks, guys. It's not that Gabriel Jesus is not a good option. I'm just saying that my appetite for taking risks in terms of captaincy is that I just want one return first to be safe, and then we can build the foundation from there and go for more points. The more he gets, the better. But I don't want a captain blank. Yeah, I think he can be a good differentiating captain. Definitely can be. Holding on to Neto. Matthew, I don't want to. I want to move him on, but out of the options that I wanted to transfer out, I think holding on to Neto makes the most sense because Neto has at least the next 3 fixtures are not that bad for him, and if he keeps starting, you can still put him in the team. I'm from India, my friend. I'm from Punjab. T. Hemming says, is Neko playable over Neto and Andreas? That's such difficulty, Hemming. It's hard to say that. Playing a defender over 2 midfielders, for me, it's very hard to say. But what I want to say is that there's not going to be much difference between their points, So you can take a risk and play Neko if you want to. I personally am not playing Neko. I have Neko as well. I have Neto as well and Andreas as well. I'm leaning towards playing Andreas. Andreas, Neto, Neko. I think Neko is good as playing Everton and has good attacking stats. Can do. Again, I said can do. Definitely can do, Neko Williams. I think there's no reason. George says Neko Williams is third for threat and fourth for creativity so far this season. I agree with that. I mean, definitely can play Neko Williams. What's the hold? I mean, Andreas Pereira, Neko Williams, or Neto, you can definitely, because Neto plays against Tottenham, then you can take a risk and play Neko Williams. I don't see why not. Deathstroke says, guys, Deathstroke, I don't have time to read the teams, my friend, because I need to settle my own team and need to answer questions. If you have a pointed question, I'd be happy to answer. Play Andreas Pereira or Trippier? I would play Andreas Pereira, my friend. Alright, time for me to set my team. Really quickly. Just give me a sec here, guys. No trumpets. That's the mantra. No trumpets. Not gonna happen. Just a second, guys. Looking at the possible options here. Yeah. FPL something breaking news: Kane and Son are starting. Right. My bad. It wasn't Bailey that I transferred, it was De Silva. Siddhant, no problem. Then I think that's good. I like that. Maguire linked to Chelsea. No chance. For me, it's between De Silva and Neko. I would start with Neko. If it is between De Silva and Neko, I think you can think about Neko. Since you're so sure about his attacking stats and they're playing Everton, who really don't have a striker, then why not? You can try it. Although the signings they've made are very encouraging as well for Nottingham Forest. Do you think Saliba gonna be a permanent starter? I am not sure. The problem is when Tomiyasu comes back, then one out of Ben White and Saliba is gonna have to be dropped. Currently, I think maybe Saliba can be dropped, but I can't say. Abhishek says good 6 million forward. 6 million forward. I think 6.6 Mitrovic. I think that's the only one I really like. Or Ivan Toney 7.1. Other than that, I don't like Mbumo. I don't like, honestly. If you ask me, I would not go with Mbumo at all. I don't like any of those cheap forwards, my friend. That's simple as that. Viz, add Spurs player. I can't, my friend. Unfortunately, I don't have the options to add a Spurs player. If I could, I would. If I had the money, I would have added Perisic. George, go with your gut. That's all I want. All I want to say, my friend. Go with your gut. So Cucurella, Pascal Gross. Next week they play against Leicester at home, Southampton away. The fixtures are not that bad. Let's go with this. In case something goes wrong, I always have the wildcard too. Double Chelsea defense. I want a double Manchester City defense. Unfortunately, I can't trust Walker enough. Well, Correa, James, and Alexander-Arnold, Cancelo, Ramsdale. Yeah, I think go with it. Correa. I've got 3 right backs and 1 left back. Pedro Neto, I don't want to play. The thing is, Andreas Pereira or Neco Williams. That's something which I haven't decided yet. Praying Jesus performs like game week 2. Saliba or De Silva. Refusion says confirm your team. Refusion always says that, and the end he says giving him heart attack. Now, no, my friend, no heart attacks this time. Anything wrong with Perisic? Nothing wrong with Perisic. If you own him, you should keep him and start him, put him in the team. Yeah. Now the last thing to consider, guys, which I had never considered until now, but I'm considering after George has been saying that Neco Williams has got such good stats. Do I put Andreas Pereira out and put Neco Williams in? Personally, I wouldn't do it, but you know, when somebody says something, you have to consider it. Best Bailey replacement under 5.4. Under 5.4. Kieran Drewsbury Hall, I mean, could be a decent option, you know, but looking at Leicester fixtures, or maybe this fixture. Who else? Josh De Silva, I'm not so enthusiastic about. Andreas Pereira is really good, but you already own him, I presume. Andreas Neco, I think Neco is good as playing Everton has. Yes, T. Hemming, I agree with you. I think Neco can be a good option. Personally, I just wanted to put in Andreas. The intensity with which they played against Liverpool, it was good for me. The way Mitrovic scored, the way Andreas played. Look at the threat. Let's look at the threat. How much? See, 12 against Liverpool, 2, and look at the creativity as well. 19, 25 for Andreas. Yeah. There is, honestly speaking, guys, there's not much to choose between these, you know, options. Can put Neco in front of Neto. I mean, doesn't make a difference to me. Neco Williams or Cash? I think based on the clean sheet potential, I think you can possibly think about Neco Williams, because I don't think Crystal Palace are not going to score against Aston Villa. Thoughts on Ben Mee? Not attacking, but defensively is sound, and Brentford have got good fixtures. So yeah, you can get him. Maybe not this week, because you know, I mean, honestly, I think Ben Mee is a decent option. 4.6 million is okay. At 4.5, you can go for Lewis Dunk as well. I like that. I like him more than Ben Mee because he plays for a team is defensively really, really good. So guys, this is possibly gonna be my team. No second last minute thoughts about getting Neco Williams in the team in place of Andreas. I don't think that we'll be making this move. The once I decided before the stream, I think I stuck with it, and I think I should stick with it. It's not going to be much between these players, so let's hope for the best, guys. Lee says, "Viz you captain Salah?" Yeah, my captaincy is on Salah. Yes, my friend. The thing is, Manchester United defense has been in doldrums. I don't see a reason not to captain Salah. What else do you think? What else do you think I should be doing? You mean Captain Gabriel Jesus? I just think that playing at the Emirates and playing away from home, I'm just not sure currently at this moment in time. Guys, if you feel you want to captain somebody else, do it. Don't copy my team. I'm not, you know, right? I've made mistakes a lot of times. I personally, I'm just have a bias for Salah captaincy. I like to captain safe players. 6 points for captaincy is my base, and then Captain Jesus is refusion. I know you can, definitely can captain Jesus. Not a bad option at all, my friend. Captain, if anybody wants to captain Jesus, I think is a good option. I've been thinking about it. I'm still thinking about it. I just can't bring myself to do it. You know, I can't bring myself to do it. I have been thinking out loud, but no, I am going to. The thing is, I don't want to change my captaincy last minute. When I decided about Salah, I knew Jesus was playing. Bournemouth. I still decided to go with Salah. Now I'm not going to change it late. Let's if you want, if Dejan Kulusevski is a surprise omission. No, that's FPL Bona. Come on, my friend. Every game week he does the same. Jugs, don't take my word. Please go with your gut, guys. Please. I've been wrong before, guys. Let me refresh my team just so that you can see it. Guys, I've been wrong before. I can be wrong as well. Don't go with your gut, you know. So at least you got yourself to blame when it goes wrong, you know. But yeah, I am going to captain Salah. I'm not going to budge. Nico Williams or Cash? Nico Williams, I already answered that. Refusion. Always go with your gut, guys. Yeah, also captaining Salah after that Havertz disaster last season. Will Cucurella start? I think so, he would start. I don't see any reason for him not to start. I mean, especially with Ben Chilwell starting for the under-21s. I see no reason for Ben Chilwell, Cucurella not to start. And also, I don't see any reason for Chelsea to shift to a back four. In which case, Tuchel said that Cucurella is going to be dropped. And I don't see him spending 63 million on a player. And, you know, kind of stealing him from Manchester City not to start him. I think Tuchel rates Cucurella. I think he's going to play him. 5 million for a Chelsea attacking defender. I'd say why not. FPL Jack says it's my decision. I'm convinced with your arguments. That's fine, Jags. Then it's okay, bro. I don't want to be responsible like. Sorry if you answered my question accidentally, had the stream midway through. Hemming, I did answer your question a couple of times, bro. Don't worry about it. Next time onwards, make sure you're updated with the stream. But I did answer your questions. I always do. You know, it's probably one of the only perks of having less people on the stream, that the comments are less, and I can try and get to all the comments. FPL Sam says our template teams parts away this game week. FPL Sam, I don't think this is much different from the template, to be honest with you, my friend. There's only going to be one or two players different, but overall I think the template is intact. Hemming says, I know, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, my friend. Zen, absolutely. Zen is very important. Will Haaland get reduced minutes? I don't think so, Abhishek. Why would he get reduced minutes? By the way, you know, guys, Manchester City is going to be playing a friendly match against Barcelona midweek. And Pep said John Stones is going to start in that game. You know, I'm not sure if those comments impact the Premier League team as much or anything. But I just wanted to tell you that Manchester City are going to be playing a friendly match midweek, a charity game or something. And Pep said there's going to be rotation, and the players who have got less time are going to play more in that game. So I'd say Alvarez and this new guy Gomez, Stones, all these guys are going to, I think start in the game against Barcelona. SH says, hello Wiz, missed your deadline stream. Hey SH, no worries my friend, but I hope you made your transfers before the deadline was over. That's the most important thing. My deadline stream is just like an alarm clock for you guys. It's like a reminder that you need to make your transfers so that you would never miss your transfers. George says, was thinking of getting Tony next week, but priced out by 0.1 million. Is Mbumo a good alternative? George, I honestly think Mbumo is not a good alternative. He's just not as clinical. Ivan Toney is on penalties. He's involved in everything that Brentford do. So I would suggest you to go with Ivan Toney, even if it means to wait one more week, or even if it means to, kind of... I'd still want you to go with the right player. For example, when we think, can this player cover the other player? This thinking in FPL, it rarely works. It's speaking from experience, it doesn't work. Very rarely does it work. FPL Sam says, now hope Perisic starts. What happened to the Football Wizards? Abhishek, I closed it down. I started a new channel, bro. I'm not sure if you've been on the stream earlier as well, but been doing this for 2 or 3 years now, and the Football Wizards were closed down long time back. Elron says, Jesus, take me to the promised land. Definitely, Jesus is going to take you to the promised land. I think Jesus is going to do well. Owning Jesus, I think, is fine for me. Honestly, what I feel... I watched Saka after the game. I think he was irked a little bit. Saka was irked a little bit, because he hadn't contributed. Arsenal scored 4 goals and Saka did not contribute to any of them. I think Saka's gonna try hard to get a return this game week, honestly. That's what I feel. That's what I could make from the demeanor of Bukayo Saka watching him after the game last game week. So, but Martinelli, I'm happy with Martinelli offering me the same returns for 2 million less. Very happy with that. FPL Sam says 80% owned. That's madness. Agree with that. Absolutely. Never seen a player that highly owned, except maybe Salah or somebody. But this is insane. I don't think I've even seen Salah owned this highly, guys. This is absolutely insane. That just means they've priced him wrongly. 8.1 wasn't. I think 9 million would have been a better price for Gabriel Jesus. What was his threat? Look at his threat. In the Crystal Palace game, it was 38. In the Leicester game, 105. Insane numbers for creativity. 3.2, 33.7, 2 assists, obviously. Jesus is insane, guys. I mean, owning him makes no difference. But if you don't own him, that's the problem. What transfers did I make? I transferred out Robertson for Cucurella, and I transferred out Leon Bailey for Luis Diaz. Elron says, I'm hoping Christmas comes early. I hope so as well, my friend. I'm an Arsenal fan. I'd be more than happy to have Jesus lead us to victory. I think Arsenal have found this new pressing style with signing Gabriel Jesus, and they've even Xhaka making these late runs into the box. I think he's been very, very effective, guys. So let's see what Arsenal can do against Bournemouth. The real test starts when the pressure starts to mount, when the expectations come. They won against Crystal Palace away, but it was not an expected result. People were saying that Crystal Palace away is going to be a tough game, but they managed to get through it, But the real pressure starts when the weight of expectation is on the head of the players. And that is when, you separate the boys from the men. And that's what we want to see Arsenal take the next step. And I think Jesus can be, very important cog of that wheel. Let's see what happens. So really quickly, let's get done with these predictions. Todd is not here. Todd readily participates in these predictions, but let's just quickly get through. So I think Spurs versus Wolves. I think Spurs are gonna win this game. Are Wolves gonna be able to score against Spurs? I'm not sure, but it looks unlikely. Looks tough and looks unlikely. So I'm expecting Spurs to keep a clean sheet here. But I expect a Spurs win. I think 3-0 should be... Anybody who owns Kane, Son, Kulusevski this game week, even Perisic, are in can do well, I'd say. Crystal Palace versus Aston Villa, guys. I think this game Crystal Palace is going to win. Although Aston Villa has really good players, there's a really good team. I think they need to find something. Although Stevie G won the last game, you know, so, they won it in the end. I think Ings scored 1 goal, and I think who scored the other one? I can't remember. I was watching the game, but kind of skipped my mind. Yeah, Buendia scored the winner. Yeah. So, but that was against Everton. Everton are not the team to be kind of, you know, comparing your standards because they don't have a striker, basically. Crystal Palace, I think, win 2-1. Maybe Palace can score 3, but I'd say 2-1 conservative. Everton versus Nottingham Forest, I think this can end at 0-0. Honestly, I feel that Everton don't have enough to kind of striker issue. Demarai Gray possibly is one of their most attacking players along with Gordon. Let's see how this game goes. I want to see it. FPL Sam says Spurs 2-0 Perisic goal plus assist. I would be burnt if this happens, bro. I could have brought him in, but I didn't. Anis says 3-1. Anis says 2-2 for the Crystal Palace Aston Villa. FPL Sam says Palace 2-1 Villa. Anis says 1-1. Interesting. Everton and Nottingham Forest, I'd say 0-0. Let's go with this prediction. And anybody who started Nico Williams should be happy with this result. Fulham versus Brentford is going to be a very interesting game. I think this is going to be, you know, it's very evenly matched. I think the way Fulham played against Liverpool at their home, Craven Cottage, I think they're going to give Brentford a really good game. I think this game is going to end at 2-2. Possibly, you know, I think both teams are in good attacking form and not such good defensive form. So I'd say 2-2 for Fulham and Brentford. Leicester versus Southampton. I expect Leicester to bounce back, win this game. I think 3-1 for Leicester. I think their attacking players, Maddison and the others, they can help them to win. Harvey Barnes is back. That's always a positive. Pereira is, I think, Ricardo Pereira. No, not Ricardo Pereira. I think they have some good options in attack, so I think they can win this game. 3-1. I expect Southampton to score maybe a James Ward-Prowse free kick. FPL Sam says 3-1 Brentford, and he says 2-2 for the Fulham versus Brentford as well. FPL Sam expects Fulham to win. I hope Andres Pereira scores 1 goal. I'd be happy. FPL Sam says Leicester 5-2 Southampton. Wow, expecting a heavy one there. 3-2 says Anis. Interesting. Bournemouth versus Arsenal. I think this game Arsenal are going to win this game 2-0. I think Arsenal are in really good form at the moment. I think the confidence is flowing through the players, and I think that's going to translate onto the pitch, and I think Arsenal can possibly beat. Although Arsenal have struggled in the previous years at Bournemouth, I remember, but this time I think with the new signings kicking in, Arsenal first 2 games winning run, I think they're going to be more confident and they can do the job. 2-0 to Arsenal. And he says 1-4. FPL Sam says 2-0. Again, he says the Saka show. Yep, I think Saka's going to do well in this game. I have a feeling. I saw how angry he was at not contributing last week. Leeds versus Chelsea. I think Chelsea going to win this game maybe 2-0 or 2-1. I think Leeds have enough to score. But the way Chelsea defended against Tottenham, the way Chelsea were resilient, I think Chelsea have the power to keep a clean sheet in this game. But Leeds are in good form, especially Rodrigo. Let's see how this game goes. It'll be a good time for me to measure up and see how I feel about this game and how I feel about the Leeds team, and also about my double Chelsea defense now that I have Cucurella and James. What does FPL Sam say? He says no, and he says 1-2. That would not be good. I have 2 Chelsea defenders. I hope they keep a clean sheet, Chelsea. Next is West Ham versus Brighton. I think this game is going to be very, very interesting. I think West Ham players are going to be tired, a little bit tired, because they played midweek in the Europa Conference League qualifier. And Brighton, I think they're going to be fresh from the from their last game week. They drew against Newcastle. I expected them to win. Let's see how they play against West Ham United. Next week, I'm looking to bring in Pascal Gross in place of Pedro Neto. Let's see how it works out. I have just the right amount of money. I hope Neto doesn't fall or Gross doesn't rise. Newcastle versus Manchester City. You all know the result of this game. I expect City to win. 2-0, 3-0, who knows. I think Newcastle have enough about them to score one goal. And I would not be disappointed if they do score, because many of the players around me, they have two double Manchester City defense. But I'd be happy if they score a goal in Newcastle, to be honest with you. Manchester United, Liverpool, I think 2-1 to Liverpool. I think United are going to score a goal in this game. I think there's too much going on for them not to score, and the rivalry as well. Players do understand this rivalry, and losing to Liverpool after losing the first two games, it's not going to be healthy for Erik ten Hag either. So I think they're going to try hard. 2-1 to Liverpool still. I think they're going to win. And he says 0-2. FPL Sam says West Ham 2-1 Brighton. Interesting. FPL Sam says Leeds 1-3 Chelsea. And Anis says 1-3 to Liverpool. I think that's pretty close with the predictions, guys. So let's see what happens. It's going to be an interesting game week regardless. And see, the template is going to start to break, but a new template is also forming. While one template is breaking, the other template is forming, guys. We just need to, stay with the trend. The trend is our friend, and we need to stay with the trend. As you see teams improving their form, as you see players improving their form, put them on your watch lists, see their individual highlights, how they play, and see their ratings on SofaScore, maybe their stats, and then you decide to bring them in. That's the reason I brought in Cucurella. I was very encouraged by his performance against Tottenham. If you see here, 26 threat for a left back, 26 creativity for a left back. I mean, influence 24. It's insane. But that means he was all over, all over the park. It was played really well. So you have to, make a watch list. Watch most of the games if you can, and then when you do the eye test, your gut will tell you what to do. Some people make decisions based on their gut when they don't even watch the games. They say, my gut says Salah's going to score. See, your gut is not going to give you the right indications if your gut doesn't have the necessary information to support it. Then it is just a lottery. You're not listening to your gut. It's just that you're just going for a lottery. If you really want to follow your gut, your instinct, first equip your mind with the knowledge of the players that you are considering, and then you kind of let your mind free to decide as to which player you want to get. That is very important, guys. So no instinct or no gut feeling comes without without understanding or without watching. That's all I want to say for today, guys. Thank you so much for being here on the stream with me. I hope you all have a great game week, and I hope you all join me for game week for deadline stream, guys. And one more thing, if you haven't had a great start to the season, stop looking at your rank. Look at your rank after 5, 6, 7 game weeks, guys. Until then, just focus on making a strong team. Focus on getting the good players in your team. Be in the right place. Be in the place where the opportunity can come and you can grab it. So get the right players, put them in your team, and then let the players do the talking. See you for the game week for deadline stream, guys. May the arrows be green. FPL Visit signing out. Take care. Have a great game week.